Good evening, everybody. Shawn Poe here, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Super excited tonight because we have, I think, one of the best and most knowledgeable people about LifeVantage and the products that we have our hands on. I have gotten to know this doctor very well over the last 6.5 years, and he's truly become like family to Michelle and I and our two girls, and we've really gotten to do life with him. 6.5 years ago, one of the dietitians at the heart hospital that Dr. Gordon worked at, she introduced this concept to us. And, you know, I cannot believe what has happened in the last 6.5 years and how much it has absolutely transformed our lives. You know, I came out of the corporate world where I traded time for money. And the higher I climbed up that corporate ladder at Citigroup, the more time that they expected out of me and the less time that I was with my family. And it honestly, it got to the point where the stress was killing me. It was eating me alive. And I wasn't the dad I should have been. I wasn't the husband I should have been, because I spent the best hours of my day dealing with things that, you know, it honestly, it drained me. And when this was brought into our lives, I was skeptical. But at the same time, I was open-minded to hear the information and see where it truly fit into our lives. And that's the thing that I loved about going to that presentation that Dr. Gordon was presenting here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, was once he started explaining the science and the technology and how this impacted people's health, it was an absolute no-brainer to Michelle and I that we were going to integrate these products into our health strategy. The thing that we didn't know was how amazing this business model, when it's done right with the right people and the right products, can be. And I want to take you back to what we saw. It's an ABC clip that aired back in 2005, and I'm going to share my screen here so you can see kind of the framework of where this all started. And then what we want to do is we want to bring you up to speed on where the company is today, where we're headed, and why we're more excited than ever to be a part of LifeVantage. So we're going to start with that ABC primetime video. I'll quickly bring you up to speed and get Mark on so he can tell you about the technology, the science, and where we're headed.
The following video is an ABC primetime investigative report that started the Biohacking in 2005.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment. For me, it begins with a blood test.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
They want to check my levels of something called T-bar. It's a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing. The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment. It's called Protandim, and tests have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age, but taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. So just what's in this seemingly incredible pill? Well, actually, its roots are very humble. Protandim is a combination of 5 plant ingredients. Some you may know: green tea or turmeric, a spice used in Indian cooking. Others, Withania somnifera and Silybum marianum, are more exotic.
High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma, all of these, strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes,
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically. Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after. Have we turned back the clock? Maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
You know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
The company that makes Protandim says its tests show the pill, made from ingredients used for centuries, is absolutely safe. For more, go to our website at abcnews.com.
All right, let me unshare my screen. And for some reason, it is catching there. So let me put this back up. All right, so that is what we saw. And as you heard in there, it aired in 2005. And we have a lot of people that we talked to were in 2017 that are asking us, well, why are you showing this ABC Primetime Investigative Report that aired, a dozen years ago? But the reality is this, is ABC did not do an investigative report or an expose to come in and make the company look good, right? Bad news sells better than good news. And the reality is everything that the company was claiming turned out to be true. And that just doesn't happen in these investigative reports. And so typically when ABC Primetime, when they come into a company and they hear that a company is making a claim like LifeVantage did, 40% reduction of oxidative stress, and Dr. Gordon will get into why that's so important to reduce oxidative stress. But when a company is making that claim, they come to poke holes in what they're talking about. And the reality is John Quinones's blood levels did exactly what the company was going to say. It actually went down 45% in oxidative stress levels in a 2-week period. So it was unbelievable. But the problem was this, is that they were a small biotech company at the time, and the researcher and the scientist behind everything, he was a great researcher and very well respected in the industry. He just wasn't a businessman. It was a publicly traded company back then. It went from $1 a share to over $20 almost overnight, just on pure speculation of what this could do inside people's bodies. They put it on the shelves of places like GNC, CVS, Rite Aids. It was actually $50 a bottle back then. It's less today in this distribution model than it was back on the retail shelves. But the problem was people aren't walking into GNC and saying, hey, can I get a bottle of that stuff that reduces oxidative stress, right? That isn't the reality of this product or this technology. It has a story to be told. And that's why they found a lot of success when in 2009, they tried to see how network marketing compared to the retail channels. And they outsold the retail channels by 300%. And in that time, they pulled it off the shelves. And this is the only way to get it, is either as a customer of a distributor or as a distributor of LifeVantage. The science has gotten better, you guys. The patent protection has gotten better on these products. When we saw this back in 2011, we were, again, blown away by what we were hearing. When Dr. Mark was talking about Circulation Journal from the American Heart Association, it blew our mind because we knew natural products like this weren't in journals like that. And so we heard from the cardiologist how important this was for our bodies, and it's gotten better and better and better. All the research that's coming out, I'm telling you, you go to places like PubMed.gov, it'll just, it's a new wave in the way that we deal with the health of our bodies. So I don't want to spend the time on this, but I wanted you to know a brief story of where we were, because I think it shapes the framework of why our mission is so big and why we feel that we have something in our hands that is absolutely going to change the marketplace. It's going to change the way that people take care of their bodies. And honestly, it keeps getting better and better. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to turn the time over to Dr. Gordon. And what I want you to know about Mark is this, is anything that I've ever seen Mark do, he studies and he gets to know, and he knows it inside and out. He becomes an expert on it. And there's a reason why the cardiologist spent his nights and weekends outside of his clinic building this business, because he believed in it so much. And when you're able to walk away from being a cardiologist because you've built a business that outperforms what you make as a cardiologist, it's pretty incredible. This guy, like I said at the very beginning, he's become family to us. We've really built our business with him and his family. And without further ado, I want to turn it over to you, Dr. Mark Gordon. So thank you. And I will pick it up at the end, Mark.
Thank you, Shawn. Can you hear me okay?
We can, yep.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about what it is that Protandim does, what it is, and how it works, because that's really what got me interested in this. So Protandim is an all-natural supplement that's clinically proven in a human study to reduce oxidative stress an average of 40% in 30 days. Well, for those of you that have a medical background, you may understand what oxidative stress is, but for those of you that don't, let me explain it a little bit. So oxidative stress is the damage that is caused to your cells by free radicals. Free radicals are toxic molecules that are produced in the process of making energy in your cells. So your cells make energy in the form of ATP. One of the byproducts of that is these free radicals that cause damage to your cells. They cause the oxidative stress. Now, when we're younger, our bodies do an excellent job of fighting the oxidative stress because we have a built-in antioxidant defense system. Our own cells make enzymes that can neutralize those free radicals. They make enzymes like superoxide dismutase and catalase and glutathione that do a very effective job at reducing or eliminating the free radical damage or the oxidative stress. The problem is, as we get older, our bodies progressively lose the ability to make those antioxidant enzymes. So past the age of 20, the production of the antioxidant enzymes starts to drop. And by the time we're 40, it's probably less than half of what it was when we were 20. So that's what leads to the aging process. You know, the joint issues, the skin issues, you know, all of the problems associated with aging, but it also leads to all of the diseases that are associated with aging as well. And some of those are listed on the right-hand side of the slide. Now, as we lose the ability to fight the free radicals do more and more damage to our cells, and it actually accelerates the aging process. Well, in addition to losing the ability to fight the free radicals with the antioxidant enzymes, we are exposed to a very toxic environment of things that also increase free radical production. Polluted water, microwaves, EMFs from our cell phones, insecticides, pesticides that are sprayed on our crops and on our plants, breathing of fumes from a gas pump, lead batteries, pollution from factories, and even too much exercise. All of these things increase free radical production, increase oxidative stress, and lead to all of these problems. So if you look at the right-hand part of the slide here, you can see every organ system is affected by oxidative stress. And all of the things that you hear about that people get as they age are related back directly to oxidative stress. So oxidative stress is the root cause of all of these different things. So if you go around the circle there, you know, in the heart, hypertension, myocardial infarction or heart attack, congestive heart failure, in the skin, skin aging, sunburn, melanoma, etc., kidney failure, every type of arthritis that you can imagine, in the lungs, asthma, COPD, lung cancer, and so forth. The brain is particularly susceptible to oxidative stress, leading to things like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, ADHD, autism, migraines, cancer, etc. The immune system is susceptible as well, leading to chronic inflammation disorders such as lupus, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, etc. Blood vessels, atherosclerosis, and endothelial dysfunction are related directly to oxidative stress. diabetes type 2, chronic fatigue syndrome, macular and retinal degeneration, and cataracts, they're all linked to oxidative stress. So all the things that you know about that people get when they get older that you don't want to get are linked back directly to oxidative stress. So what have we done in the past historically to try to deal with this problem? Well, for years, we had people taking antioxidants and eating a good diet. And I strongly encourage people to continue to eat a very good plant-based diet, like a Mediterranean-style diet. And that gives you what we call direct antioxidants. Other direct antioxidants are things like vitamin E, vitamin C, beta carotene, and so forth. But here's the problem with that solution. Those antioxidants work on a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning one antioxidant molecule will neutralize one free radical molecule, and then the process is over, so it's one and you're done. What Protandim does is it activates this protein called Nrf2. Nrf2 is a protein that acts as a messenger, and when it gets turned on or activated, it goes into the nucleus of the cell, where it turns on or activates hundreds of genes that increase the production of these antioxidant and anti-inflammatory and anti-fibrotic proteins, the things like catalase and glutathione and superoxide dismutase. Now, those molecules have the potential to neutralize up to 1 million free radical molecules. So you can see the difference, the 1-to-1 versus million-to-1, and why this is really in a class by itself. Nrf2 activation is the key to reducing inflammation and oxidative stress, and LifeVantage has proven that in scientific studies. In 2015, Washington State came out with an article that was a great review about Nrf2, and they looked at all of the diseases in which Nrf2 had been studied. And the common denominator was just about every disease that they looked at improved when you activated Nrf2. And this is one of their concluding statements. They said Nrf2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. And that's a pretty profound statement. It's hard to go beyond that because that kind of tells it all right there. Oregon State University did a number of studies looking at longevity, and they found that the animals that had the highest levels of Nrf2 lived the longest and they stayed the healthiest the longest. And so the scientists dubbed this the longevity assurance factor. And that's a great term for Nrf2 as well. Now, here's what's interesting. When the company and Dr. McCord and the other researchers looked at the individual ingredients that were in Protandim and tested them as far as their ability to increase the expression of those antioxidant genes, they found that individually the ingredients did not do very much. But when they put the 5 ingredients together, they had this huge synergistic effect. They had an 18-fold increase in the expression of these antioxidant genes. So that's the beauty of Protandim, and that's what sets it apart. And that's the reason why we have multiple patents on the product, is because of the synergistic action of the 5 ingredients together, with the sum being much greater, the conclusion or the result being much greater than the sum of the individual parts. So that's the reason why Protandim has been found to be, to date, the most potent Nrf2 activator that's ever been studied. So the Protandim, the Nrf2 activator, which is the flagship product, the one that the ABC investigative report was about, has been clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress on an average of 40% in 30 days. It's the only supplement that's been shown to do that. It activates this Nrf2 pathway, which combats cellular stress. It helps to regulate your survival genes. And we now have 23 published peer-reviewed scientific studies on this particular product. Not on the individual ingredients, but on the completed product. And that's what really caught my attention, what made me take a second look and say, this is something that I need to learn more and more about. The National Institute on Aging did a study recently, and they studied multiple supplements, and they found that Protandim was the only supplement that extended lifespan. The only one. Now, any company would give their left arm to be able to have a study that showed that. And this is just a list of some of the universities that have done studies on Protandim and Nrf2, and also some of the pharmaceutical companies that are studying Nrf2 in the development of synthetic drugs that activate this pathway. Looking at a number of those different diseases that I showed you on that previous slide, that circle that had all of the different organ systems and the diseases associated with oxidative stress. Now, the reason why is because the pharmaceutical companies have recognized that oxidative stress being the root cause of all of these different things, if they develop a drug that activates this Nrf2 pathway that reduces oxidative stress, they're going to have drugs that can treat literally hundreds of different diseases. That's why they're investing hundreds of millions of dollars to research this Nrf2 pathway. And here we are, a nutritional supplement company that has an all-natural product that, again, is the most potent activator of Nrf2 that's ever been found. But because we are a supplement and not a drug, we are not allowed to make any claims that we cure, treat, or prevent any particular disease. Now, after the company developed Protandim Nrf2, they developed what's called True Science, which is an anti-aging skincare system based off of that same Nrf2 technology. So they took the ingredients in Protandim and they put it in a skin formula. Two of the earliest studies on Protandim were done at Louisiana State University, and they found very favorable results in the skin. You should go look up those articles and see what they exactly found, because it was incredible. And that is what kind of was the impetus for them to look at developing a skincare line. So this is an example. This woman used the product for 2 months, and you can see the results. There's 4 components to this. There's a cleanser, perfecting lotion, an eye serum, and an anti-aging cream. And I've been using these ever since they came out. I want to use them twice a day, but I sometimes forget the evening dose, but I always do it in the morning at least. I use the facial cleanser as my shave cream. The perfecting lotion then goes on after that. The eye serum goes around the eyes, the bags under the eyes, eyelids, the crow's feet area. And then the anti-aging cream goes over my entire face. And if you're a woman and you want to use the anti-aging cream elsewhere, like in the neck area or on the top of the chest, a lot of women will do that as well. Axio is another product that the company has, which is really something that I call brain food. It really helps to improve concentration, memory, thinking skills, attention, and so forth. You know, I started drinking this as soon as it came out. I was a little bit leery because I've never really been a fan of energy drinks per se, but this is not like your average energy drink. You don't get the sudden rush of energy and then the crash. This gives you kind of constant, even energy, but more importantly, it makes your brain function better. It gets you concentrating and staying on task and being able to get your job done. And it's also a great pre-workout beverage. I use it all the time before my workout. And on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see this is a boy who wrote out his spelling words, and you can see before Protandim and Axio, and then 2 weeks after using Protandim and Axio, the difference just in the neatness of his writing. So it really has been beneficial for people, particularly those with attention issues. We also have a weight management system called PHYSIQ, which includes 4 products: the probiotic, a cleanse, a protein shake, and a fat burn. The probiotic, I think, is essential for anybody, whether you're trying to lose weight or not. We know that good health starts in the gut, and if your gut is not healthy, you're going to have all sorts of inflammatory problems. So the probiotic is a great way to help to launch your health through the gut system. The cleanse is something that people will often use 1 week a month. Just to kind of reboot their system. The protein shake can be used as a meal replacement or as a snack. I typically use it in the morning for my breakfast, probably 4 out of 7 days. I use the protein shake. I put some blackberries, some spinach, some chia seeds, and I put an Axio in there as well. Mix that up and have that for breakfast. And then the fat burn has been clinically proven to help reduce that visceral abdominal fat buildup. And this gentleman on the right, this just shows you one example of what happened over a 3-month period of time with him. He was obviously working out in addition to using the PHYSIQ line, but that certainly was a component of his weight management. Now, more recently, the company developed a product called an Nrf1 activator, Protandim Nrf1. So how is that different? So the Nrf2 product, as we talked about, reduces oxidative stress through the activation of Nrf2, which increases the production of the antioxidant enzymes, okay? That's what Nrf2 job is, okay? Nrf1 is different. Nrf1 is also a messenger protein, but it is involved with the health and the maintenance of the mitochondria. The mitochondria are the powerhouses in the cells. They're the things that make the energy. They make the ATP. So we eat the food, we burn it as fuel, the mitochondria turn it into energy in the form of ATP, and 98% of the energy that our body uses is produced in the mitochondria. And each cell in your body has hundreds of mitochondria. Now, one of the problems is as we age, the mitochondria tend to wear out. They don't function as efficiently as they should. The analogy that I like to use is an engine in a car. Say you have a classic 65 Mustang, but the engine hasn't been started in a number of years. You turn it on, it sputters, it spews exhaust, it's not hitting on all cylinders. That's kind of like what happens to the mitochondria as they age. And so you take that car to a mechanic, they do a tune-up, and they get the engine running just like the day that it rolled off the assembly line. Well, taking the Nrfi product kind of reboots those mitochondria, gives them a tune-up just like that engine, and it gets them functioning efficiently so they can produce the maximal amount of energy with the least amount of exhaust. And that exhaust is the oxidative stress, the free radical production. So you want that to be as low as possible. Now, some of you know that I did an anti-aging fellowship, and in that, one of the strategies in the whole anti-aging world is to improve mitochondrial function because it declines as we age. So this is a great strategy through this Nrf1 activation to improve the function of the mitochondria. And LifeVantage was really the ones that spearheaded the idea that you could use this Nrf1 pathway to actually improve mitochondrial function. Now, if you look at the right-hand part of the slide, you can see many of the conditions that are associated with poorly functioning mitochondria. Now, you don't have to have any of these particular conditions, and perhaps, just the aging process itself is causing your mitochondria to not work well. And in those people, oftentimes really what they notice when they start taking the Nrf1 product is an improvement in energy. Now, it's not something that happens overnight because it takes a while. It takes a month or two for those mitochondria to rebuild themselves and to increase their numbers. Like for me, for example, I didn't really notice much for a month, but in that second month, boy, it really kicked in, and that's when I had more energy. So that's the Nrf1 product, Protandim Nrf1. So it improves cellular energy, it increases ATP production, it helps improve peak performance, it helps to enhance cellular health, it helps to improve sleep. That's one of the things that people have really noticed with the Nrf1 product. It increases mitochondrial production and their efficiency or their ability to make energy, and it helps to slow cellular aging and improves chromosome integrity. So this was a product that I added to my regimen as soon as it came out, which was about 2 years ago now, and I wouldn't be without it. It's been an essential part of my daily regimen ever since it came out. Now, I mentioned a little bit about the probiotic earlier when I was talking about the PHYSIQ system. Now there's plenty of probiotics out there, but the interesting thing about our probiotic is we've got two very unique components to our probiotic. Number one, we have something called BioTract, and what that is a little cellulose encasement that the organisms are kind of locked into. The reason for that is most probiotics that don't have this BioTract system, 95% of the organisms are killed in the stomach by the stomach acid. The BioTract helps them make it through the transit through the stomach and get to the intestines where they're supposed to be. And we've shown that 60% of the organisms reach the intestines intact compared to only 5% with standard probiotics. Because of that, we don't have to use the large numbers of colony-forming units that a lot of probiotics use. The other unique component to our probiotic is something called Wellmune, which is an immune enhancer, and that helps with prevention of common colds and so forth. There's studies that have shown that. So that's a great thing to be adding to the probiotic. And I can tell you there have been numerous stories of people who have taken this who had been on different types of probiotics before that have noticed a dramatic improvement in their overall health and their gut health. And you can talk to some of the people that have experienced this, and they can certainly give you kind of what happened with them. Now, most recently, about a month ago, the company introduced an omega product. Now, many of you probably take fish oil. If you were in an audience right now and this is a live presentation, I would have you all raise your hands. How many are taking fish oil? I mean, most people who are health conscious do that. So what's unique about ours? Well, we have the omega-3 fatty acids that you would expect, but one of the cool things is you can actually track on our bottle where the fish came from, the exact boat that the fish were caught on and processed. And they're processed right there to get the most clean and natural fish oil that they can. Now, one of the things that's important with fish oil is to make sure it's molecularly distilled to remove all the impurities, because as you know, a lot of fish has mercury and so forth in it. The molecular distillation process removes all of that. We also have vitamin D in our Omega Plus product, and we have omega-7s, which is somewhat unique. And omega-7s are important for skin, nails, and hair, but also has been found to be beneficial for weight management as well. So the other cool thing about this is if you've ever taken fish oil before, you know, sometimes you burp fish after you take the fish oil. I know that's happened to me with numerous fish oil products. I have not had that experience with our product. And if you cut one of our capsules open, it doesn't have that rancid fishy smell. And you certainly don't want to take fish oil if it has that smell, because that means it's not good. It's starting to spoil. And ours is very fresh and it doesn't have that particular problem. So very happy that the company came out with that. In addition to all the stuff that I've mentioned, we also have something called Pet Tandem, which is a doggy version of Pro Tandem. People have been giving their dogs Pro Tandem, doing before and after videos of these old dogs who are having difficult time moving around, and showed dramatic improvement in a short period of time. Dogs have higher levels of oxidative stress than humans. They age faster, but they get a lot of the same problems as they age that humans do. And so when people were posting these videos of the amazing things that were happening to their dogs when they were taking Pro Tandem, the company decided to capitalize on that and make Pet Tandem, which comes in a little convenient doggy wafer, and it's based off of weight, how many they take. My particular dog takes 2 a day. She weighs about 45 pounds. So it all depends upon the weight. But I've got an older dog, a hunting dog, 14 years old, has terrible hips, has had x-rays, and the veterinarian can't believe that she's still able to walk. And she goes on sometimes hour-long walks pretty much every day. And it's just been great to be able to have her around for as long as possible because she's such a wonderful dog. So if you've got a 4-legged friend, I would certainly encourage you to get them on the Pet Tandem. So with that, I'm going to turn things back over to you, Shawn. Do you want to screen share and have me stop the screen share?
Sure, I can do that. Yep.
Okay.
And I will pull up the exact same thing that you just had up, and then you won't have to click the slides for me. And you guys, honestly, here's the deal, is all of this science that Mark's been talking about, it's verifiable. You can go to a site called pubmed.gov, and you can find exactly what we're talking about in published peer-reviewed research. And that's what's so different with our company than most companies that you're going to see out there. And I love the fact that Mark is so knowledgeable about NRF2, about NRF1 and fish oils, omega products, all of these medical professional ideas. That isn't me. You guys, my background is financial analysis. After graduate school, I came out, I got my security licenses, and I became a financial analyst with Citigroup. I ran corporate treasury. We were moving anywhere from $4 billion to $40 billion around the world on a daily basis. And the thing that I know about business, regardless what industry or service or product you've got your hands on, there's always this S-curve that happens. And I want to take a little bit of time to talk about the business and the world that's changing. It's changing so fast. We've never seen a change in how business is done like this. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And some people are going to be ahead of the curve and some people aren't. They're going to watch it go by. But here's the reality, is at the beginning, it's the innovators, it's the early adopters, it's the entrepreneurs, it's the risk takers. Those are the people that get ahead of the curve. I mean, look at Bitcoin. I was just looking at Bitcoin before we got on this webinar. It just hit over $10,000 of Bitcoin. You guys, we got involved with Bitcoin back when it was around $2,500, maybe 7 months ago, and people were telling us we were absolutely crazy. The ship had sailed, and those are the people that they won't be first in line, right? They don't want to take the risk. They're afraid they already missed out. The reality with what Mark just talked about is I've done this all over the world. There isn't one community I've ever set foot in where you would walk out and the average person, you could ask 100 random people if they know about Nrfi or LifeVantage or how this technology helps oxidative stress. They'd be like, yeah, I know all about that. The reality is we're so far ahead of even what the average medical professional knows on this, that we're in a position that some people will benefit on the business side. And I know the business side isn't for everybody, and we're not looking for everybody, but I at least want you to have enough information that you can make the decision for yourself if this is for you or it's not. Probably 85% of our business right now is customer based. It is an absolute no-brainer to me. You're going to integrate some of these products into your health strategy when you hear what Mark's talking about. Dr. Gordon, as a cardiologist, would not have put his name behind something that didn't have valid science. And we have medical professional after medical professional in LifeVantage, and I love that, because they bring to the table that knowledge base. They know what is so unique and special about this company. But I'm telling you, on the business side, it's just as big. If you look 5 years ago at the amount of people that were ordering online, and let's take Black Friday, for example, because it just happened. It just happened. Even comparing Black Friday from last year to this year, there was an increase of 15% of online sales. People are going less and less and less to brick and mortar stores, and they're continuing to shop in this virtual environment. And look at Amazon. What is it? Truly, what is Amazon? It's a bunch of distribution centers that take products and they ship it right from a distribution center to somebody's house. That's exactly what network marketing is. And I know there's a negative stigma attached to network marketing, but I'll tell you this again, when it's done right with the right people and the right products, it's the most amazing way to do business, because you're not paying for people to ship it across the country and paying for shelf space to stock it on that store shelf. When we started this webinar, I told you Protandim itself was $50 a bottle in stores like GNC and CVS. It's $40 a month in this model. It's less than it would have been if you were buying it off the retail stores. And that's what I love about this industry, is we're seeing a shift. We're seeing a dramatic shift that stores like JCPenney's and Sears and Macy's, they're not going to exist for a lot longer, right? They're closing more and more stores. As a guy that had my security licenses, if you would have told the analysts 10 years ago that places like Radio Shack would not exist today, they probably would say that you were crazy. But we know they don't. And the reality is, even places like Walmart, I think in 2017 in North America, Walmart shut down over 100 stores. Okay, they're not as profitable as they used to be, and we're going to see more and more brick and mortar stores go away. So where's it shifting? Where is this money shifting? Because people are buying more than they've ever bought before. They're buying it through mediums like this, direct to consumer. That's what network marketing is about, and I absolutely love it. Because if you position yourself ahead of the curve, you can take advantage of when the average person starts to find out about it. Think of the iPhone. Right? Not a lot of people had the original iPhone or the iPhone 2 or the iPhone 3. It was really around the iPhone 4 that the early majority started to adopt that technology. By the iPhone 5, it was probably the late majority. And now we're at the iPhone 8 and iPhone X, right? That's when the laggards that haven't had any of the products before are jumping on board. And you have those people that no matter what are never going to get involved. But I'm telling you, even if this business isn't for you, you have to find a way to take advantage of the trends and the changing environment that's happening in the business world. So network marketing, when I first got involved, I didn't think you could make money doing this business. And I want to reiterate, I know that the business side isn't for everybody, but again, I want you to have the knowledge that you can make the decision whether it's right for you or not. And if you look at the Pro 1, Pro 2, Pro 3 levels, we're talking about $80, $260, $580 a month. You guys, a lot of people that get involved with network marketing, they're not looking for life-changing money. They're not looking for full-time money. They're looking for something that, you know, maybe at the end of the month that they have enough money to make the car payment or the rent payment at the beginning of the next month. Or as we head into the holiday season, they want that extra money to buy the gifts that they want to buy. And then you look at the ranks of Premier Pro 4 and Pro 5, $1,200 a month, $2,500 a month. To me, you guys, this is supplemental income. We have a whole host of people, the baby boomers, who are coming up to retirement. And I'm telling you, the retirement world is not what it used to be. These people have worked 30 and 40 years, and they anticipated that they were going to have some sort of pension when they started. And that isn't the case. They don't have pensions anymore like they did in the past. And Social Security definitely doesn't provide the income levels necessary to live the same lifestyle. And almost every American has not saved enough money to live the same lifestyle that they're accustomed to while they're working. So if we can roadmap out how somebody could make an extra $1,200 or $2,500 a month, do you not think that just in that niche of people that we'd find a whole host of people that want something in addition to supplement their income? And then look at Pro 6, Pro 7, $6,000, over $11,000 a month. You guys, over 90% of Americans would replace their full-time income at one of those levels. And then look at 8, 9, 10, you know, 20,000 plus, 40,000, $100,000 a month. To me, I wouldn't have believed it if they would have shown me this when we first started. To me, honestly, I joked with Michelle and I said, if we're going to be successful network marketers, we'll get a check for $20 and we'll celebrate with a bottle of wine and a Redbox movie. And the reality is there is life-changing money in something like this. And that isn't what everybody's looking for, but I want you to know that there isn't a ceiling on what you can do in a model like this, okay? And that's what I was looking for. I was looking for a way out of the corporate world. I wanted to replace that income, and we put our heads down and we got to work and we made it happen. As far as the products go, you guys, if you just want to be a consumer of the products, over 80%, probably 85% of our business is customer basis. In the middle there, that vitality stack, to me, that's the baseline of where you're getting your health strategy back on track. You're talking about Protandim, NRF1, NRF2, reducing the oxidative stress in your body and increasing the health of the mitochondria. And at the same time, you're getting the Omega Plus and you're getting the probiotic. You're getting your body back in balance so that it can work like it was designed to work. The pills aren't the miracles. It's getting your body back doing what it was designed to do. God put an incredible pharmacy inside of our bodies, but as we age, it slowly stops working the way that it used to work. And these just unlock the body's potential to work like it used to work. If you want to integrate the True Science line, we've got the Beauty Stack. If you want to, go without the Omega for some reason, I don't know why you would. We've got the True Science with Nrf1, Nrf2, PHYSIQ. But I'm telling you, at a very, very minimum baseline, you understand how to integrate this into a health strategy. You're going with that Vitality Stack as a customer. We've also got some really, really cool deals going on right now with Cyber Monday and Cyber Week. So ask the person that invited you on the call tonight what those are as well. But that's a limited time. That's not going to be around forever. This Vitality Stack is really the baseline. Now, on the business side, there's 3 different levels that you can get involved. If you want to dip your toe in the water, we've got the Silver Pack. It comes with some of the product, small sampling. We've got the Gold Pack. Okay, it comes with a little bit more product. And then there's the Platinum Pack. If I was going to sign up again tomorrow, I would do the Platinum Pack because you're going to get all of the product. You're going to get a sampling of everything. You're going to be able to introduce this into your family's bodies right away and start to create your own story of what this is doing for you. And I'm telling you, group after group after group, we've seen it in network marketing. The people that come in with the highest pack, they've got more skin in the game, and they typically have more success because they're treating it more like a business. And I love that about this, is when you truly put the business in motion, we've got a system in place, a replicatable system that you can have the same results that people before you. You just have to follow the system, okay? And I get so excited, and there's tons of different ways that we get paid, but I really want to highlight the elite bonus pool in the bottom right-hand side of the corner here of this slide. I don't want to take a ton of time on it, but I want you to understand this is a very unique component of our compensation plan that most network marketing companies don't have. When you reach the rank of Pro 7, I showed you that income disclosure sheet. It goes from Pro 1 to Pro 10. When you hit the rank of Pro 7, you start participating in this elite bonus pool. And what it is it's a revenue sharing program. It's not profit sharing where they cut out expenses. It's a true revenue sharing program where they take 4% of the total global commissionable sales and they put it into a pie where the 7, 8, 9s, and 10s share 1%, the 8, 9s, and 10s share 2%, the 9s and 10s a third, and the Pro 10s, you guys, they share 1% of a $200 million company that's traded on the NASDAQ. I have never seen that in another network marketing or any company in general where you have that kind of profit sharing going on as you progress through the company and rise up in the ranks. And the cool thing that meant to me, when we first started, we didn't get on board on day one with this, you guys. We weren't early into the business. We got in a couple of years in after other people had already started with this. And the cool thing that I knew was as long as we got to that level of Pro 7, we could participate in the work that's always been done. And it also meant to me as we opened up new countries, it didn't matter if I knew anybody in Thailand or China or India, where there's 1 billion people in India that know what ashwagandha and bacopa and turmeric are and have been using those products for centuries, those ingredients, because they know the health benefits. And to me, that was exciting because as we develop as a global company in this NASDAQ, this publicly traded company, I could participate in everybody's effort. And I'm telling you, that's completely different. Now the last thing that I kind of want to wrap up on is this, is I want you to think to yourself, are you in a position to earn residual income today? Are you? And some people don't know what residual income is. So let me start with that. Residual income is being paid over and over and over again for work that you performed in the past. And there's not a lot of ways that you can achieve this type of income. You know, you could write a #1 best-selling book. You could be a movie star, a songwriter. You know, not many people are achieving residual income that way. Some people do it through real estate. Some people do it through investment portfolios. I'm telling you, network marketing is the least expensive way and the easiest path to entry into residual income. And even if this business model is not the one that's right for you or LifeVantage is not right for you, I'm telling you, find a way to achieve residual income in your life because it will change everything. In the corporate world, I traded time for money. I showed up, 2 weeks later, I got a check. Okay, the higher I climbed up the ladder, yes, the bigger the check was, but I had to keep showing up, right? I didn't continue to get paid when I didn't show up. I stopped showing up in January of 2012, and guess what they stopped doing? They stopped paying me. And the exact same thing with Michelle. She was commission-based. She was amazing in the mortgage industry. She was one of the top wholesale lending account executives in the entire nation. And every single month, guess what happened? It reset to 0 and she had to do it over again. Imagine getting paid over and over and over again for work that you did once. Even if it took you 3 to 5 years to earn $2,000 residually for the rest of your life, would that be worth it? To me, that's an absolute no-brainer. And we're not talking about just $2,000 a month. You looked at those other levels, and it's astronomical numbers that you can earn in this. So again, I know the business isn't for everybody. I hope I gave you some information that makes you sit back and say, what if? What if what these two guys from South Dakota are saying is correct? What if on the business side, I was positioned in a way that I could take advantage of something that nobody knew about? And like what Mark was talking about, Dr. Gordon, what if I knew about a technology, a change in the way that people are taking care of their bodies? What if I knew about that before the average person? How could I take advantage of that? So do me a favor, okay? I don't want to take a ton more time, but I want you to do this. Okay, you're going to fall into one of three categories. This might not be for you. None of what we talked about that you have any interest in. If that's the case, let the person know that invited you on here. It's just not for you. What I would ask you though, is if we come out with new products or maybe new science or new financials, that maybe every 4 or 5, 6 months, that we just give you a little bit of an update on what's going on. And if something does change in your life, where you're now interested in what we were talking about, get back with the person that introduced this to you first, okay? If you fall into the category, the second category, that you have questions. You don't know if you're a yes or a no, but you have questions about what we talked about. Ask us what those questions are so we can provide you with a legitimate resource to answer those questions. Because I'll contend all day long, you can find tons of information on the internet, but a blogger is not going to give you the same information that the American Heart Association is going to give you. Nobody's going to deny that that's not a valid resource to get information from. So let us know what those questions are. We can pinpoint whether it's on the science, whether it's on the products, whether it's on the business. We can get you the right information and help you make that decision. And then on the third side is, this is for you. You get what we're talking about. You either want to integrate it into your body, or you want to integrate it into your body and share it with other people. I'm telling you, if you're Rolodexing people in your head that you're saying this person could be helped by this product, or this person could be helped because they're not happy with where their career or their job is, or this person needs more in their life, those types of motions probably are indicating that you need to get involved on the business side in some aspect. And now's an amazing time to get involved, because what happens towards the end of the year? Okay, what happens is people start to go through the holiday season. They probably spend more than they should, and they eat more than they should, and they have a good time. But on January 1st, what's the majority of Americans thinking about? It's better health and better finances. And I'm telling you, if you position yourself in a business like this now, you can get this in front of a lot of people. And then when they're ready to make that decision starting in January about where this fits in with their life, you're already in a prime position to take advantage of that. So with that, I want to thank Dr. Gordon. Absolutely, again, I think one of the foremost leaders in the world, honestly, on what we were talking about tonight. We had a ton of people on this webinar. I was looking through the list. We have people from all over North America, Canada, Mexico, United States, and then also a few people scattered around the world. So absolutely unbelievable. You guys took time out to listen to this information. If there's anything we can do to help you along the way, let us know what it is. We're more than happy to answer your questions. This is not a business you do alone. If you get involved, Michelle and I, we had no knowledge of network marketing. We didn't understand the first thing about nutraceuticals, but what we knew was this: if there was a duplicatable system that other people had already shown that they could have success in, if we followed that same formula, we could have the success that they've already had. And I'm telling you, that's what we're teaching people how to do today. So Mark, any last words that you want to throw out there before we wrap this up?
You know, I would just say that there's people out there that you guys know that are going to be taking these products. And there's people that I know that I haven't spoken to yet that I know are going to be taking these products. And that's what keeps me up at night, because I want to be the one that introduces these products to them, because I know it's going to benefit them from a health perspective, but also potentially from a financial perspective. So if you're on the fence about, you know, whether or not to do the business, have a conversation with the person that invited you on this call, and just let them kind of go over what it would be. It really isn't that much more to get involved as a distributor as opposed to a customer. So, you know, just hear them out and let them tell you the benefits for you. With that, thank you guys so much for getting on this webinar tonight. Shawn and I really enjoy doing these together. We have a lot of fun, and it's a great, great feeling to work with a group of professionals like all of you that are on this webinar with us. So have a great evening. We'll look forward to seeing you again on another one.
Awesome. Love you guys. Let us know how we can help. I've got the family behind us right now. Have a great night, and we will talk to everybody very, very soon. Take care. Take care.